Yo, what's up guys? Hector here with Omega Gaming. Finally making a video that I didn't know that I was gonna have to make, but I'm more than happy to make it because like I said, I really like the game. I like playing this deck, so for me it's like not a problem sharing like all the information that I've obtained through my experience playing the deck. Like I said, I don't know like I'm not saying I know everything about this deck, but like I'm just sharing what I know. So I'm gonna. I think this video is gonna be separated by like a couple sections. So I'm just gonna run through the list first, explain some cards a little bit better, answer some questions that people had for me, to the best of my abilities. I apologize if you were bothered by me looking at my phone. I just want to cover as much as possible. So I want to be looking at the stuff that I wanted to talk about. So. We'll start with the 3 cat again. We're just gonna like mention the cards that let you start playing the game, right? So yeah, it's all of these. I'm gonna go over some combos with some of these cards that I haven't seen some people talk about. But like I said, I just found them like playing the decks. But yeah. This card at 3 is like the main reason I won some unwinnable games, like being able to like normal cat, okay, that gets stopped, like maybe like get to a Kuros play, okay, that gets stopped, and I still have this, and it's like damn, like I just break the whole board now, like because I've access to Mirror Jade, and if that Mirror Jade gets answered, then it's like the board gets out of it anyway. So yeah, for the engine requirements again, it's these cards. Yeah, like not much to say about these. Just you could argue maybe this is like just like this because this actually doesn't let you start playing the game even though it's a Tri-Brigade name. So it's just a requirement. It's the one that you keep pushing when you need to. So yeah, I won't explain that too much more. Oh, the revolt too. And the defensive cards. This is what I wanted to talk about. These are the 12 hand traps. 12 I think is a pretty solid number, especially in a 40 card deck. This right here is the only, so like these are the rest of the defensive cards, the 3 talents and the 1 called by. This is the only slot that you could offer to another hand trap. And those hand traps could be Veiler, like because Veiler's really good against Despia in my personal experience. Unless they have the continuous spell, and that's the whole different kind of worms. It could be the 3 Veilers, or it could be 2 Veilers and the 3rd bell. Depending on how you feel the deck. But I have to let you know that what you're giving up with this card is that like the difference between like those cards and like this, going second, there isn't much because like you're just trying to stop your opponent regardless, and like if you have this, you're not stopping them, but if they interact with you on your turn, which they kind of have to, it just either gets you like advantage or lets you break the board. Obviously this has 3 different effects, so it's like there's like a bunch of options you have. Not to mention going first, if like let's say you go cat, it gets Ash for Veiler, or you go Fraktall and that gets Ash, and you have like a hand trap instead of talents, then you just passing turn, and that's not the type of Yu-Gi-Oh I'm trying to play. I'm trying to like always be able to play the game as often as possible. So that's why this card is kind of needed in the deck. But if you can't get it, I would suggest probably playing the hand traps. But just know that you're giving a very solid card if you do that. The Gamma package is really good. I'll say this right now, the driver is the main thing I say with the branded fusion, because you don't want to be drawing this, or if you already go through the Gamma package and like let's say you go second, right, you Gamma your opponent, then you branded fusion one of the dead Gammas away, it's like the best light target for the Albion when you have to do it that way. And I had somebody ask me that if I cited these out when my opponent saw them, and it's kind of funny because it's like a whole psychological thing, right? Because if they see it, then they're probably gonna think that I cited it out because I know that they know that I have it, but because they know that, I keep it in because they still like if they don't respect the card, I win. So like you still have to put them on respect the card no matter what. And I think called by is called. I don't think I need to explain this card. Like these cards right here, like they're just this slot right here. I think is depending on the format, but all the other hand traps I think are gonna probably be standard till this deck like falls off the face of the earth. The extra deck stuff. Nothing to say here. I'll probably just explain them again, like explain some of these cards again through the combos. Let me see. Only card here I want to explain a little bit is the Rugal. The Rugal I almost don't play sometimes just because like it doesn't come up every game, but some games it does come up where like you need to make a link 3 with the Tri-Brigades to kill your opponent. So because of that, and its effect's actually kind of solid to make with Revolt in case I like bait out Revolt early. Yeah, that's like the Omega's the 15th slot. If I'm being honest, you don't really have to play this card, but like I said, it's like a really good card to have when you open Gamma on your turn. The side deck, this stuff right here. I'm gonna get into side decking patterns in a bit, like after the combos probably. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, so I'll talk about these cards in a bit. So now I'm gonna go through a couple of combos that I think are important for the deck. So first we'll start off with Old Reliable. What do you do when you open just Rescue Cat? So this is what I do personally. Well, actually, yeah, let me do it this way. So you go normal cat. Funny enough, this might seem like not important, but you probably want to normal summon cat anywhere not in the middle in case you have like a cross play, and then you don't want to like make the Frigid zone or the Bear Broom zone a little weird. Just a little thing, but yeah. Also, if you need an extra beast, you can just activate it, or like let's say if this gets Valor Imperm and you have like Branded Fusion, you can still just activate the effect and then just Branded Fusion in case you do have a Gamma, like and you're reading like an Ash Blossom or something. Obviously, you're kind of telegraphing that you have an Ash Blossom, and sometimes you can even just do that play to make your opponent think you have Gamma, so that they're less likely to like Ash the Branded Fusion. And just and this can also make Almirage, just a lot of things these cards can do. But if you didn't know that, well now you know. But yeah, Cat. The one thing I like to do with Cat, since I play the one Karaz, I almost always summon 2 Kitts. If I'm resolving Cat, then the game should be ending the following turn. So it just comes up that you search the third one with Nervall on with Revolt after you Revolt them, and yeah, but yeah, you go those get linked off for the Frigid. And then Kitt effect triggers. Let's get the Nervall. Nervall effect. We'll search for the one I always search for, the Fraktall. Frigid effect, so in the Fraktall. And this, I guess, is like very, very important. Every time I do this combo, I always do 4 for cost. Because you being able to make Omen turn 1 makes it so that Cat is absolute 1-card combo. Like it's actually just Cat because you're getting the free card of Omen, and then and that's the putback for Revolt. So you make this. These 2 go into this. The Bear Broom. Omen searches here. Can search literally any beast because you're gonna end up putting back. And then you make the Appaloosa with the 2 counters, and then you search Revolt. Alright, you put this back to the bottom, and you still have the other 4 cards in your hand. And so this is what happens when your hand is like really, really good, like I guess really good. Like let's say you have the Cat plus like 4 hand traps or something like that. This is what I do, but the combo gets a lot better once you account for like for example, I'm gonna do the combo again, but a different way, I guess. So same thing, right? Cat effect, go into the double Kitt, always double Kitt because you only play the one Karaz. You gotta be mindful of your resources. Go into the Frigid, and Frigid effect. Nervall. Oh yeah, dump the Nervall. Nervall effect, search the Fraktall, Frigid effect, summon, banish 4, summon the Omen. And so this is taking into account like let's say you have like another beast, or like literally like this is literally the hand, right? Like Oh no, that's not the hand. This is on the field, and then you still have the other 4 cards in your hand, right? So at this point, you link these off for Bear Broom. Like this is like if you have like a full starting hand. Bear Broom Omen effect will not trigger the search. This time, the search does matter. You're gonna search for the Merc Carrier, right? And then this effect will trigger. You pitch the Merc Carrier and literally any other card. And you know, use one of the ones you haven't. More likely, I guess, Nervall. Doesn't really matter too much, right? And then here, you're gonna go ahead and banish 2 for the double Dragon Lords. Then the Mercurier will now trigger to search for the Albion. You still have 3 cards in hand. Right. So you get the Albion. Albion effect triggers, dumping this card. Put itself to the bottom of the deck, and now you're up to another card, so you still have 4. And then these go, oh actually, sorry, I'm skipping a step. This adds this back with that, so now you're up to 5 cards in hand. And now you link all of those away for Appaloosa. Right? And now you do Frigid Bear Room at the Revolt. I always put this back because unless you have another hard break in the hand, it's just like you can literally cycle through that anyway. So you put that to the bottom, you draw 1, put back, and yeah, that's like this is the end board. Like if you want to go the Bear Room route, and a lot of the times when you ask yourself a question of how do I do something with this deck, the answer is almost usually Bear Room and Omen, like some combination of those cards. But yeah, that's the second cat combo. The last cat combo I want to do is how to kill people with the cat. Like, you know, if you open cat, I feel like you should just be killing your opponent. So we're gonna go like, we're gonna assume like, let's say let's say you hand trap your opponent, you're going second, whatever. Like, if you only have cat, like this is what you should be doing, I guess. Cat, you know, double Kitt, you know, this stuff doesn't deviate too much. Just wanna get all the scenarios out where it'll come up. Nervall, this is over here. Then yeah, get that perfect. And like I say, you still have the, you know, like I said, the hand. So 4. So you have 4 in hand. Summon this. This effect. 4. Omen. Get this here. Trigger. Omen trigger to get this one. I guess the only downside about this is I guess you always have to have another, at least one more card in your hand besides the cat, because through the combo you end up switching this, so the second card, it actually isn't like an issue to get to. This is the first card. So you end up pitching 2, Reborn 1. Probably this one. Then you can do 3 here. Switch to Amigo. This effect will trigger, getting the Albion, you know. You do the Albion stuff. This back to the bottom, draw a card, banish, add. And then these two can become the, oh, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. These two become the Access Code Talker. Right, and then effect to gain the 3K, and then these two become the second Omen, put it right here. And then here you get the Bear Broom effect. So even if for whatever reason your opponent ends up holding a nib, like they probably should have nipped you earlier, but if they for whatever reason held it, you still have gone through 2 revolt, and although the revolt won't be actual disruption, because you went through 2 omens, it'll still guarantee you follow up, and if they're not killing you, then the follow up kills them. So, what's it called? That's one way to do it. There's another way to do it where you can keep the second omen, but you don't get to revolt. So, that one, it's like when you get to this line, like I don't think I have to start over, but when you get to like this point, when you have this, right, You have the Omen, the Fraktall. And you have like you just like you have like an extra card to pitch. You just make that into yeah, this one. You just pitch like the 2 random cards to bring back one of the banished ones that you used, like set the Nervall or whatever. Banish 2. Let's see. Banish 2 for the third. Where's that at? Third. Oh, it's already used. So yeah, banish 2 for probably the double Dragon Lords. These 2 can be turned into the Doom Eagle or the Silver. They're 2 wins, so you can make this. That's something that hardly comes up. You can make this 2 wins, but these 2 can make the Doom Eagle like you can actually make it. So is that a Silver? Like it's in case you don't have the Nervall access to whatever. And then these 2 turn into Axe Code Talker, and then that's the same thing with Revolt, but you actually get the Omen Search through that. So that actually might be better now that I really think about it. This is another way to do that. Okay, that should be all the cat combos that I had. Now we're gonna move on to like a lot of, I guess, weirder combos, like where it's just Fraktall. Let's see. Okay, so let's say you have Fraktall, and I guess, you know, I gotta keep looking for an opening hand. So 4 cards, Fraktall, right? So you go Fraktall effect. Dumping the Nervall effect. Get the Kitt. Then we go normal summon Kitt. Banishing the 2 for cost. Getting the Bearbroom. Right, getting the Bearbroom here. And then here you just make Silver, like again, 4 cards in hand. And then you go Bearbroom chaining 1, Kitt chaining 2. Chain blocking, you know, can be super important. A lot of people, you know, there's not a lot of Ash points. Well, there's a lot of Ash points in his deck, but if you play it like this, the Ash points get a little weirder. And Bearbroom just happens to become the best one at this point, but you're able to chain block it. So you just end up dumping Mercarrier and then adding Revolt. Revolt. Then you put a card back, right? And that's just like, I guess, worst case scenario. Like if you think your hand is just super good enough, where like this, like where like this board is enough, and like you want to invest like as like little resources into the board as possible, then that's fine. But there's also something else you can do here. Yeah. So opening hand. So again, you can Fraktall into Nervall into Kitt. That's the you don't deviate from that. You banish 2, but instead of banishing 2 for like, well, you still banish 2 for Bearbroom, but instead of like, you know, going for the other play, you commit the hand. So you pitch the 2, so now you're down to 2 cards in the hand, but ends up being okay, I promise. You go into this, right? So now this is where it gets a little weird. You have to link this away now. Like for the Kitt, for the Almirage. Now the Kitt triggers, dumping the Mercarrier. And then you have to use this effect right here and now to clear the zone. I usually do it on the one I summon, so in case for whatever reason they have like an Ogre or Gamma they haven't used, it's in, you know, now it's like useless or whatever. And yeah, so then this trigger this one for 2. So that, and then the Mercarrier triggers, getting this. Albion, it's in the trap, right? It's in the trap. Bottom, drop blank, right? This. So now, yeah. So yeah, you banish the trap, add this back. So now, the 2 cards you committed for the play, you already got back, and you have the card to put back for the revolt. So, this is, keep in mind, this is like just like, I guess, yeah, Fraktall, but like you have to have the 2 cards to pitch to do this. So it's literally just a turn 1 combo. So you make Appaloosa for 3, search the Revolt, and you put the Mercurier back, and now you have the Revolt plus a bunch of other random cards. You know, like could be other hand traps. You know, but yeah, that's just the Fraktall. Let's see. No. Now, let's see. Let's. I'm gonna show you guys what to do with this. It's got something like this, right? You open like not like the not one card starters, but you open 2 of them together, then they can actually let you start playing the game. Like if you open this, you go normal effect. Oh, not normal, no effect, but you link it away for Almirage. You know, I made a mistake the last time I did the combo. You always want to. Oh, I didn't. You always want to summon the Almirage on this one. Having the middle zone available is a lot better than having this one. But yeah, you go Nervall effect. Search the 1-of that comes up every now and then. Like now. Effect. Oh, and like I said, you still have to have the random. I think you have 4 cards, right? Oh no, it's just 2. Sorry. Yeah, you open because you open this and the 3 cards. Okay. So link that away. Search for Kuras. So now you go Kuras effect, pitching this. The Kitt effect triggers to dump the Mercurier, and you're gonna see a theme here that being able to dump the games you're able to like get to like Mercurier and banish it. So like here for example, like if you banish 2, right? If it goes, I'll see what happens if it goes through, right? So you go this into this, and then the Mercurier triggers. You get this, right? Dump the trap to the bottom, draw a card, so now you're up a card again. Effect at this back, right? So you're a 5. Effect is special. You special the Mercurier this time. You link those away for the Bear Broom. And then these can make the Appaloosa. And you get the Revolt, and then you have to put a card back, but this time it's not as free, but you end up with the Mercurier in the grave, so you're just gonna end up cycling through the stuff again. You set up Revolt, and the way you make the Revolt live, you go like, whenever you want to use Revolt, just go like Almirage 1, Revolt 2. This type, that type of beat, but yeah, that's what you get off of those 2 cards, which is a lot more than you would traditionally get by like those cards by themselves. And I guess I could show something better, probably like. Oh, actually, I did want to say something. If you during that. So and this is like what I like about this deck. So you go like I'm gonna show the same combo actually, but what happens when you get like stopped? So like Nervall search the Kuras, pitch this, Kitt effect, dump this. Now you go Kitt dump this. Oh yeah, special this, yeah, dump that. And you go this effect, banish 2, right? They can choose to not stop it, and then you see what happens. But if they do decide to stop this, then you can still get the Mercurier to get the Albion. Albion still dumps the trap, put us up to the bottom, draw a card. Trap, we'll add back Mercurier. Now you're making Anaconda, because you're not locked by the Tri-Brigade restrictions if they imprem or avail you. And now you just pay 2,000. This, and your boy, Fallen of A. To this guy, and now through an imperm, like which normally should just be ending your turn, you ended on the Mirror Jade, which is follow up, and you have the Mercurier, which is an actual monster negate since you have the Mirror Jade, like, and that's like them hand trapping you through that combo I just showed. Just little tricks, little cool things you can do with the deck. Let me see. I also wanted to show different combinations of what happens when you open either one of these. Oh, sorry. Yeah, either one of these with Fraktall. Because I know, as I want to cover as much as I can. And believe it or not, opening Fraktall with one of these, well, depending on which one, is actually kind of a different combo. So I'll explain one at a time. So for this one specifically, Fraktall, oh, sorry, with Fraktall, right? Fraktall will dump Kitt. Kitt will dump Mercarrier. Here you don't search, and I'll tell you why. Because you normal summon this, and then you banish 2, right? Depending on what happens here, you know, I'll show the first combo, and then if you get stopped, I'll show you what to do when you get stopped. Can't talk. Summon this effect. Yeah, it becomes really repetitive, but that's kind of what makes this deck like good. In my opinion, is that you get to like do the same things like consistently. Dump this, get a card, bottom, trap card effect at this back, right? And then here you go into the Almirage. Nervall will go ahead and search. Then you can use this. Oh no, you use this effect first, right? Remember what I said? You want to use this on the one you summon, just in case. 2 for cost. And then yeah, Appaloosa. You know, search Revolt. Put back my carrier. Draw a card. Back. Doesn't matter. And the other thing you could have done is you could have special summoned the Mercarrier off of the Frigid and just make Bear Room, but this just makes it so that the Appaloosa has an extra negate, which is what you really want. And yeah. Now the other combo that I said was, it's weird how like they deviate, it just does, is if you open this and that. So here, since you open this, you gotta go Fraktall into Nervall this time, and then Nervall will search the Kuraz. Kuraz will then pitch the Kitt to this. Oh, yeah, never mind. I'll just get to that. And then Kitt will go ahead and dump. This will go ahead and banish the 4. And you then if it goes through, right, you go Omen. This effect triggers. You do this. Again, like I'm telling you guys, it gets repetitive, but you know, it's just how the deck works. That should be the next. You should actually not have this many. This should be this, and then you draw one here off of the Albion. This will add back this, and you're up to 5. Now you go to that. You go into the Bear Room, and then Omen will trigger. Getting this. And the way this is better because it helps you play around the nib better. You don't often get to play around nib great. The only way you play around nib is like you make this before your 5th summon, and then like even if they nib you in on Revolt, that's like the best way to do it. Normal, 2, Frigid, and then Appaloosa. And obviously here, if you had opened like let's say that same combo, the Fraktall and Kitt, but you open like let's say another Tri-Brigade name, then with the Omen you could have just searched DD Crow and you know just normal summon the other one you had, and you know now you have another disruption on top of everything. I'm gonna show 2 combos to do when you get stopped because I kind of forgot to show the other one, but in this one specifically, we'll do it again. So Fraktall, like if you open Kitt, right? Fraktall will put the Nervall. Nervall will search the Kuraz. Kuraz effect, pitch this, special this, sack the dump this, banish 4, and you know they see that you banish 4. You should have the 3 cards in the hand. So you know you're down in cards, so they might feel obligated to Impermanence this, right? So let's say they do that. Mercarrier still triggered because they got banished. Getting the Albion effect, dump trap, bottom, draw, trap at back, normal summon, and then that still makes Verte, and you still have disruption plus follow up. And then the other combo, it's a little like the same thing, right? Because if you go this and this, You go Fraktall into Kitt, into this guy, normal, banish the 2, get stopped, that's fine, Mercarrier, trigger, searching the Albion, put to the bottom, don't, draw a card, doesn't matter. This, add back the Mercarrier, link this away. Nervall trigger, so getting this. Now you trigger this, but by you trigger Cross by pitching the Mercarrier. And then here you still just banish 2. And here you could like you're not gonna, since you don't have Appaloosa, you could choose if you want to end on the Mirror Jade or not. I just prefer to end on Revolt because you have to choose between Revolt or Mirror Jade, because here you could just make Verte, pay 2,000, make Mirror Jade, but I'd rather just make the silver and then get the Revolt back, and that's, you know, through a Handtrap. Yeah, it's just pretty cool lines you can take. Let's see if there's anything else here. Oh yeah, I guess I'll show the just branded fusion, like what to do, like actually, let me see. Let's say if you open like crazy, but your opponent opens crazy, right? Oh no, I won't say that. Probably like those. Like, can't throw a Fraktall. Like, let's say your hand's like all engine, right? And like, just like this is what I mean when I say that the branded fusion stuff is like plan B. Like you saw how it's plan B when you get Handtrap, like through the cross play and the like, well, literally they're both cross plays, but you get them through different means. But let's say here you go cat, right? They're like Impermanence cat, right? Cool, that's fine. Effect, Kitt, Nervall, cross, then you know try to do effect, right? And then here you could try to go banish 4. And if they stop it, then cool, you know, branded fusion. And then, so like I said, branded fusion for me always sends Fall of Albass, and it always sends driver, always, you know. You never want to draw driver. You make this guy. Oh, it should be here actually. I keep moving my graveyard. And then this effect, banish these 2 to make the merger. You know? And then also, if you don't open branded fusion, you could just make Anaconda. You know, other stuff you can do. And another play I like to do with Gamma, because Gamma is in my deck. If it ever comes up where, let's say you go right, let me see, where you have this, right? Like let's say you go, like your only play is branded fusion. You go branded fusion, they go Ash, you go Gamma, right? Gamma, special. What I like to do, the branded fusion says you can use it from the field too. So I send the Fallen Valvas in this, because since you use Gamma, the opponent is more than likely to think, like, forget that you used the driver. So at another point where, if the game is grindy to the point where, like, you know, they clear your board and you have another Gamma, then they're more than likely to play into, like, thinking that you already don't have the driver. But you know, that's the beauty of being able to use the materials from the field or anywhere. Like, it's really good. But yeah, it's the same play, just make Albion. I guess let me look at my phone here for the tips. So I guess I'll talk about the matchups in the meta. I feel like it's pretty important. I'll start with the Despia matchup. That's probably the deck I played the most at the regional. It's like the most popular deck right now. You know, it's a structure deck. It's getting cheaper. But the deck is really good. And going first, the combo that I showed you guys like a lot, it really helps because you know, you Appaloosa like the monster effects, and then like that's not taking into account like the rest of your hand. And even if like they get to a point where they can mirror jade you, and like depending on how the turn plays out, you'll more than likely stop Revolt. And that's another thing. Against that deck, I'll talk about a couple hand traps actually. I'll talk about this, and these, right? Okay. Obviously, everybody knows Ash is like an FTK against that deck, and like these cards are like really good. But I think for example, like when I play against that deck, if I open Imperm, I like, and they summon a Luber, I literally have to let them resolve, and the reason is because if they hard open Branded Fusion, then you are super far behind already, and like, especially because like Imperm is like not supposed to be high impact against that deck. But if you wait till they Branded Fusion, if they don't have the continuous spell, you can Imperm the Lubion, and they are down a card. So now they don't have the Mirror Date Disruption, on top of not having the Branded and Red that we're gonna get in the end phase. So that's really huge. Gamma is just I forgot what I was gonna say about Gamma, but the Revolt against the adventure cards, it almost always comes up when I have Appaloosa Revolt and I don't have double Dragon Lords. You know, if I don't have a way to stop them from getting to the adventure stuff, you have to Revolt the token. The token is the only thing that matters, because you can negate the Griffin summon, you can, and if you banish the token, there's no way they're bouncing. They're never gonna get to a vanilla after that. They're not gonna attack her with Appaloosa by that, with that card specifically, and you're gonna get the Griffin, so the Griffin's not gonna attack over Appaloosa. So it just becomes like very hard for them to win the game if you Revolt the token. Gamma, I really was gonna say something about Gamma, but I really forgot. Just, yeah, it's a light for Branded Fusion, I guess, for now. It's really good in the Flounder Ease matchup, I'll say that. Let me see what else I have here. Going second, those matchups are obviously like a lot harder. There are some games where you have a lot to gain from holding Gamma, like if you think they have like if their opening board isn't that impressive and you're like reading they might have like an Ash or something, like there's like I'll say that, like if I open like these, like let's say I open like, sorry guys, I kind of cut off there, but I was just talking about how sequencing hand traps can be very important. But with that being said, I'm gonna start talking about side decking now, and like playing against like the other meta decks. So I'll start off with the Despia matchup, right? So in this side deck, what you want against that matchup going first is these four, because obviously like you see any of these and they don't have the answer, then they lose. What you take out normally, sometimes I take out this if I really feel comfortable like knowing, like I don't know, if I see a deck list that they're not playing like a lot of hand traps, then you just play you can comfortably cite this out. Otherwise, you can take out like other like weird ones, like you can take out one Branded Fusion, which is usually the card they take out going second. Sometimes, going first, you want to do that. Yeah, it just it's a lot harder to take out other cards, so it just ends up being easier to take out this stuff going first against Despia specifically. And then going second against that deck, I side these three because as you can see, there's no other cards for that deck going second, but there's a fly. Anyways, you only side these for Zombie World. That's the only card you're afraid of going second against that deck. If you open hand traps, then you should like stop their combo and then you just twin the Zombie World if they get to it and just win. And then obviously, yeah, like I said, going second, you keep in the Gamma package. You know, you want as many hand traps against the deck as possible. I think I like one, and like one. Or sometimes it can even be like if you want to keep like stuff like this in, like, so these are like the potential cards you can take out going second a lot of the time. It's just matchup dependent. Let's see. The cat is really bad going second, so I wouldn't blame anybody for taking two of it out, but I do like to have it as a Saki one of. I know that sounds really weird, and it's probably just not correct. It's probably just correct to like cite all of them out, but I'm like comfortable like not having multiples of this card is bad going second, but having it as like a one card, like if I absolutely need it, like if I have to do it, then yeah, like I'll do it. So it's like between these 5 going second a lot of the time. So that's the Despia matchup. The other matchup I'm scared of, like Elklich, well, Cyrus Elklich, which sides you, Sword Soul, and any other like adventure, like you know, like the sad deck or the base deck, one of those. Always these going second. Yeah, you just need them. Like I said, you usually side these out going second against that deck. And then going first, you just side in like you side in these because they usually try to synchro, like or Verte. So D-Barrier stops both. Ancestral is like a god card against that deck. This goes in against, like I said, against Elklich. Trying to think of any other combo decks in the meta right now, but I can't because the only other deck that's popular right now is the Flunderies matchup. So, and that matchup's a little bit different. Going first, you do need these right here, and then obviously like that matchup is way different because these end up coming out, the D Crows and the Bells, because they serve literally zero purpose. So those come out, and depending, it could be like one of those. You need to keep the Gamma in the deck because Shifter is a card that they play. They're usually going first, these come out. Going second against the deck, it's usually the ones that come in. These, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And it's usually, yeah, like again, these, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You need to take out the cats. Well, you take out cats really bad. Well, most cards in the deck are inherently bad against the Flunderies matchup because they have map. So if you normal summon and like you stop them and but they have the map, then it means nothing because even if they have like a meaningless Flundering like Toucan or Stree, but they have like a banished Eaglin or Robina, you go Stree 1, Robina 2, and all of a sudden the whole engine is rolling just because you normal summon Cat. So you don't really want to be normal summoning Cat a lot into a Flunderies board. And like I said, I've said this, like if I said it once, I said it a bunch of times, like you just need this card at any point against that deck, then you win. You just flip it and it's like, what are we doing here? So that is the side decking patterns. But if I'm gonna check my phone for any final notes, because it's been a long video and I do apologize for that. So the only other way to play this, but I guess the Despia or branded Tri-Brigade strategy, is to play the Lyralist cards. And those cards are really, I like those cards a lot because they're super explosive. Like Warbler, if you do Warbler Sparrow, that end board is actually Appaloosa, Mirror Jade, double Dragon Lords with Rebolt. My personal problem with that combo is that with those type of combos, is that A needs B to play, and like this deck just one card gets me like a lot of advantage. I don't have to rely on 2 cards. My hand size can always be like 4 Handtraps and like one of these, and I'm like feeling pretty good about myself. Whereas like the other deck requires so much engine that going second just ends up being almost impossible. Like you requiring, like when you require your engine to, when you rely on your engine to try to out your opponent's engine, it can get really dicey. So that's the reason I'm choosing to play this deck or this version of the deck over the birds. But it's definitely something to change because there's still a lot of testing to do in this upcoming month or so. But yeah, that is actually just everything I think that I have in my brain about this deck. Like I said, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors. We're making it at the shop. And I would encourage everybody to subscribe, like the video. It actually helps out a lot. You know, sponsor player here would help me a lot to keep playing the game. Make sure to check the Omega Gaming Twitch, the TCG. All the good stuff will be in the little description thingy. And please also, if you guys would want to watch me play this live, I want to start streaming again. So my Twitch will also be linked in the bottom. I'll probably start streaming this deck and other variants of it as preparing for the next YCS and Nationals. But yeah, this has been Hector, Team Omega, signing out.